Well, go on, everyone. Welcome to the Late Night Podcast, the podcast you never knew you needed. I'm your host, Pam Bath, and tonight we're going to be discussing a few things, including what is real music, Game of Thrones, and we're going to do a new segment called FilmFighter. We're going to do the importance of nostalgia, and jumping into work straight after uni. But before we get into any of that, we have a very special guest today. I'm very excited for today's podcast, the return of it. She is the shooter for all vegans. The worst Mortal Kombat player of all time.
Wow.
And a fucking Skyrim fiend. It's the one, the only, it's the returning special guest, it's Emily Burns.
Hi, thank
back
you.
Again.
Nobody clapped.
How do you feel to be back in the game?
Good, surreal, nervous.
We're back, boys.
We are.
For people that are on SoundCloud right now, never had to say that before, because it's always been on SoundCloud.
I know.
Right, so let me firstly say why I've taken so long. First things first. Man's been doing bare uni, yeah? So allow me on that front. Second thing is, all my equipment's just been fucked. My PC is dead to the right of Emily. It's just dead. It just doesn't work. And I needed that to record all of this, the scripts and etc. So that's been long. And then, unfortunately, as you can see, this isn't Nile. Unfortunately.
I'll go kill myself.
Nah, we don't.
Same.
So I don't live with Nile anymore, and unfortunately, that doesn't help with recording podcasts on command. So yeah, basically having co-host, no equipment, all of these things have just gone out the window. So uploading as regularly as I want might not be the thing for me right now. But we have Emily Burns. We previously
She'll fucking do.
She'll do. Now we have had Emily on before, and I was bare gassed when we agreed this for today. It's been a long time coming, to be fair. But
It has.
with Emily's great energy, we're calling this one Season 2 up in this bitch.
Season 2.
We're back.
Season fucking premiere. It's fine.
It's the revamp of the podcast, firstly. The second thing is as well, I think I'm taking this a bit more serious now. So yeah. I mean, I was taking
like, shit.
I'm taking it serious before, but Emily's brought the energy. This is Season 2. This is the revamp. But yeah, Nilo's going to return one day. He won't be co-host, unfortunately, because the odds of me living with him again are slim to none after I've lived with him for a year. So I think I've had my fill for it. But yeah, he'll come on definitely as a special guest soon enough. And with Season 2 on the rise, I thought it's finally start to up in the levels, as I said, on YouTube Crew we Deya. Yeah, I'm gonna upload a video on YouTube of the whole podcast, so for all them man, we can see, can finally put a face to me if you've never seen me, and to Emily if you've never seen her. She doesn't have Insta or anything, so put all the comments.
Sorry for my fans out there. Shit.
Yeah. Hold tight, no visuals as well. YouTube man will see that. Anyways, yeah. So moving into the podcast. We're talking about real music today. This came around because I think people get undermined when it comes to like when they're talking about certain levels of music or whether they think this is good or that's good. I think the way people look at music nowadays, they think like everyone thinks they know it all because they've listened to this song or this new song.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a massive opinion. Obviously, with social media, it's become this massive thing. I think a lot of people have power in what gets listened to and what doesn't get listened to is another thing.
Yeah.
And I think I listen to a lot of grime music and I follow the scene in England. And I think a lot of people get a bad rap now because there's this new thing called the listening party. It's not me atting people, but I think like creating a platform like that is like it's going to start to damage music. And I think this is one of the reasons it came around along is like who can really judge it. I know this is just people's opinions, but it can damage people's reputation. It can, have a negative influence on it. But yeah, so what do you think? What do you think?
Well, no, it is kind of difficult. I mean, I think whenever people say like, "Oh, that's not real music," it's just the most. I just think it's just pure ignorance.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it from like decades ago, the amount of times that like music that we would consider to be the greats and like the most iconic tunes ever, they probably weren't considered as real music. Like people were like, oh, that it sounds awful and that sounds terrible and that sounds rough and all this shit. But like it's just it's just another like manifestation of that, and I think it's just so like ignorant for people to say like, oh, that's not real music and all this shit.
Yeah, it's annoying. I think it comes with this like entitlement because they listen to older songs and
Yeah,
seen like
yeah.
great music come through. Because one of my arguments is, and I've got this in my topic list, like no shit. I actually think Drake's one of the best. And I think he gets a lot of bad rap because he's so popular. And I think because he's so popular, people started to not like him.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Everyone likes him. But I thought, you know what, like, the past decade, he's murked it. Like, I just don't know who's murked it more than him in the last 10 years.
No,
like,
yeah.
I really just, there's no one stepping up to his levels. I think, like, in years to come, like, he's still got, obviously, a shit ton of years left in him. But, like, I think there'll be a time when people look back and think, like, oh, shit, like, look what he was doing for so long. I think right now, because we're living in it, I think he won't ever get applauded.
Yeah, you might not appreciate it as well. Yeah. Like, think of like all. Well, I'm white as heck, but like I don't fully appreciate like the levels that like he bring and like the amount of new music that he brings out all the time. Like he is always pumping out stuff, and it was generally always really good. Yeah. So
this is like what I'm saying. Like I think people. Like some people now don't look at him as like he's not making like great music. I think everyone just always compares it to his old stuff or compares it to other artists and stuff, and I think like takes away like the separation from each artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like who has the right to judge is one of the other things I want to talk about. Like I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion, of course. Like one of the things I was saying about that like new platform, it's called the Listening Party.
What is that, by the way? What is that? Quick context.
Yeah, so basically what it is let's say like 7 or 8 people. I don't know if they're in the scene. Like I'm not sure who they are. Like I have no idea. But they're on Link Up TV, and Link Up TV is like quite a big platform now. Like people like Drake coming on there, and like there's a shit ton of artists that have been on there. It is a very big platform, and they've got these like however many people. They're all sitting around the sofa. They're all like having a drink. They're all having fun really, and they're just listening to music, giving their opinions. But like. The couple of clips you see online are them, they're listening to it, they'll pause it, and they'll just all start laughing or something, and I just think, you know what, there's a level of how you show, like, whether you respect a person, you know, their work or whatever. Like, I think there's a certain way of going about it, and I think that, like, it is just people's opinion at the end of the day, but I think they are trying to dictate, like, oh, well, this music's, like, it's not what it's, like, trying to be, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I don't think people put music out with the intention of that, you know what I mean? So when people put music out, it's just because they're artists, they just want to put out their body of work. But then I think it gets this like whole negative light because it's well that's not like grime, or it's not rap, it's not this, that, the other. They try and make a thing out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think like everyone should have their own opinion.
Yeah.
But then like artists making music and like the music they're trying to make. I don't think anyone should have the power to say that's not real music. That's not what music should be.
It's so frustrating in my opinion. I mean, like I've heard some stuff to me that is like pure, just dire, like in my opinion. But I will always, and I think everybody ought to like recognize that is in its own merit, like still music and it's still somebody's thing, and like. I mean, yes, some stuff is ridiculous and some stuff doesn't sound good and all this, and we can objectively say, like, take a step back and be like, that doesn't sound, you know, coherent or whatever, like, what a good song should, like, you know, how to build a good song. But, you know, whether you like it or not, it's still like music, you know what I mean? I think it's such an ignorant statement to kind of make.
And going on to the next point, when you talk about a bit about how like pretentious people can be with it, because I think you know what, I think a lot of I think there's a lot of older people that come with this. Like
I think I've had my time of being a dick about it, and 100%. Like I used to, you know, when I was friggin' edgelord in school, I'd be like, oh, you've never listened to like so like that's real music, like because I got wind of like one Beatles album when I was like you know, younger and stuff.
that might be a sticky.
Oh no! Oh shit! One sec. Carry on with your point.
Having a little bit of technical issues, but it's
Visuals.
Completely calm. So yeah, like with that, I think a lot of the older generation now, and I think there's a lot of older people on radio nowadays, and I think, you know, to be fair, I say this, but a lot of our scene has been, like, a lot of the UK music scene has been getting fucking blasted on radio, like, as in everyone is loving it at the moment. But then I think they also come with this whole vibe that, like, certain levels of music shouldn't be appreciated. Like, there's a whole thing against drill. But to be fair, though, to be fair to it now, I think with the music being as popular as it is, no one can deny it anymore. You know what I mean? I think we've completely destroyed that barrier of, like, well, this can be considered real music, this can. I think that's a good thing. But yeah, like, one of the reasons for this was because I think my opinion on certain music and, like, certain tunes was getting undermined, and I was getting pissed about it, to be fair, because I thought, you know what, I've listened to a wide range of music. I haven't listened to just one genre. No, it's predominantly, like, grime and UK music. Like, I haven't just listened to that all my life. Like, there's a lot of depth to the music that I have listened to. So, like, I think one of the main reasons for this was just to get a respected opinion, to be fair. I mean, I'm not trying to degrade anyone's music. I'm just trying to say you can't say what real music is.
No, yeah, 100%. And I think if you're a fan of music, I don't know. I don't think, like, people should be policed on, like, how they can enjoy music, because they can enjoy music however way they want, understandably. Yeah. But I don't think you should judge other genres really harshly either. Like, I don't think that, I don't like pop music. It's like, you are literally can't, because I used to say that all the time. I used to be like, no, I don't listen to that mechanical whatever. But, like, you are literally avoiding and putting down such a huge genre with so many tunes, so many really good tunes as well, and you're just gonna judge. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think, like I said, like I've been on that side of, like, I listened to, like, a cool album when I was a kid and all this. It's just so lame. Like, but
yeah, lesson to be learned from this, I guess. No one knows what real music is unless you've listened to every single song in the world. I still wouldn't even take your opinion.
Yeah.
If you're trying to tell a man what music is and isn't, you clearly don't understand the idea of it. But yeah, I mean, that was just a little bit bad. That, to be fair, just about something that pissed me off, to be fair.
It annoys me as well.
Yeah, moving forward, this is going to fly in my gears. So we're about to talk about Game of Thrones, and now if you haven't watched it, this is the pre-warning. Skip about 10 minutes ahead, probably 15 because I want
probably 20.
Yeah, but yeah, thingy, like, before I start speaking about this, everyone that's about to hear this, pinch of salt, just because I'm going to be such a prick with this. Yeah, so basically, a few people said that I should bring this onto the podcast, to be fair, like, speak about the opinions and stuff, and I wanted to do it over the whole of the last season, but to be fair, with the equipment and, like, uni, I just didn't do it. But we're here now. It's all finished. It's finally done. Best 10 years of my life because of that series. Like, it's finally done. I think, you know what? Before we get cracking, like, this has been a massive series. I don't think this will ever be rivaled, no matter what the ending was, start to finish. It's just been fantastic. I think a lot of people can be annoyed and whatever. Like, a lot of people can have their opinion on it. But I think to take away what's been done with the amount of material they've had, you know, like, over the time frame, you know, what they've done, like, it's been moving for me personally. But yeah. So yeah, we're going to talk about Game of Thrones. Just looking back, summaries, like, our thoughts and opinions, just like analysing the politics of the show. So, I mean, let's just start with the ending. Just, were we happy?
Wow.
Yes or no?
I was satisfied.
Okay, I'll take that.
I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
But I think the actor who plays Samwell Tarly, I'm really sorry, I don't know his name. Yeah. He said it in an interview, and he said it best when he said, you will be satisfied by the ending. You probably won't be happy about it, but Game of Thrones has never given you what you want. So, in that respect, yeah, I kind of respect it. I respect the ending.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I didn't like how things shifted from a pure fan from a fan attached to the characters,
Yeah.
I was a bit like, like I was upset, but I respected the ending. I was satisfied. So.
Well, one of the famous quotes / gifs, Game of Thrones. If you was expecting a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. And this is, you know what? I think this is probably the best ending that could have happened.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not completely happy about it. I think they could have done a lot more with the time. Like 13 episodes for the last 2 seasons was clearly not enough.
Yeah. Even with the length. Like...
Yeah, they clearly didn't have material off George R. R. Martin. Like, I don't know how far they were supposed to go into detail about everything. Maybe like once he fills in the gaps, like then it all will make sense. But then obviously it's the book version. Like George's version of this is just going to be mental. Like, and if people are pissed about this ending, this is the book ending. Like,
yeah,
like they haven't said this isn't that. You know what I mean? Like, this is how he said he wants it to end.
I just think that the discrepancy is just always going to be in the detail.
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, as soon as he fills in the gaps for the fans and, you know, puts out the literature, you know, I think people will respect it a lot more. Yeah. I think there are a lot of, like, I think in the final season there were so many things that were left to interpretation and were left to just for you to kind of, you know, think and wonder, like, oh, what does that mean? What does this mean? And I think in the book it will obviously go into detail about that. And I think that's where some people were a bit like, a bit annoyed, maybe. Yeah. I think they expected so much as well, but
to be fair, I don't think people should be too angry about it. To be fair, I think the minor details and stuff like that, I say minor. There's a shit ton of stuff wrong with it. There is so much, but
I will always defend it.
I'm going to defend it because I think, you know what, everyone likes to pick holes in everything, and this is why I don't think we can have good things in this world. There's always someone overanalyzing. To be fair, like this is a story where every conversation matters, and I think these last 2 seasons have gone so far away from the world that initially got created. You know what I mean? Like, the first 5 seasons are just outstanding. Yeah. They're immaculate. Like, it gets a bit boring at times, but if you're really into it, you're paying attention to every scene. Like, you're understanding the power, like the conversations, the flow of everything.
Everything is so significant.
Yeah, it is, definitely. But like the last 2 seasons felt like this is gonna get said and this is probably gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not. There's nothing that was really surprising because in the end, you know, I'm gonna say I didn't expect her to turn. I really didn't expect it. I was on FaceTime to you at the time, and I remember being in complete shock. Like,
you know what? Because we're editing this, I'm gonna try and insert the picture of Pav's face right now.
Yeah. So if you're
what are we on?
YouTube,
18-minute mark. It's gonna be popped up.
If you're on YouTube, you're gonna see me complete and utter shock and just horrified because there's just burning people, and she's lost it.
She's lost the plot.
Yeah. So safe to say. Daenerys here, of course. To be fair though, like, I think she was well within her rights. She definitely did. She's lost everything. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, 100%. I mean, okay. So, I agree in the sense that we were really given clues about what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, water swap. We were really given clues about what was going to happen. You know, it was building up. Everything that, you know, it was just pure grief. Like, she'd lost everybody at this point, pretty much. She was losing John.
Yeah.
100%. She felt, well, you could tell that she felt really, really isolated. And then, to top it all off, she just lost everybody. So it did make sense. She had so much anger in her. So I get it. Should she have done it? Obviously not. Should she have murked an entire town? Probably not. But do I understand why? Yeah. Because at the time I was like, why did she do that? It makes no sense. She's completely like ruined her chances of becoming an actual leader because something like what John did to her in the final episode, spoilers, obviously killed her. Like, that was gonna happen if she'd turned.
Yeah.
So, like, if she'd turned and she was gonna rule, like, absolutely, and everything would be great because she'd be ruling, and like, I would get it, but she was never, that was never gonna happen. As soon as she turned, she'd put, like, she'd killed herself.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
She did.
So, like, that's why I was annoyed as well. I mean, as well as that, she turned into a mass murderer, which is
I think
shit.
the best. I think the only really tell that she was starting to turn and fall off is after Miss Sunday gets murked. There's a scene where she's just looking out on Dragonstone and her hair's out. She's just looking pale. She hasn't eaten, like, and you can just tell she's just completely dead.
Yeah.
You know, she's so numb. And when Tyrion says, "Oh, someone's betrayed me," and then she says, "John."
Yeah.
Tyrion says, "Oh, someone's betrayed you." He says, "John," and then you like she's still there, but she just
she's not all there.
Shit.
She's just
like I think Tyrion
me every day.
I think Tyrion just makes her more angry about it because I think she's just expecting everything to go wrong at this point. Like, but maybe she has just like lost all her sense once she's come here. I think John maybe fucked up her entire story. Maybe John has like really is the downfall of her from when he comes in, because let's say if she does just go to King's Landing with all her army, she doesn't lose Missandei. Like, they don't have time to get the Golden Company and what's the Don's name from Euron. They don't get Euron Greyjoy. They don't get him. Like, they don't get any of those forces together. You know what I mean? Like, if she just goes down in season 7, but then she's just biding her time at Dragonstone, and that's another one of Tyrion's mistakes. Maybe like he's taken so much time with this. Like, she's got everything. Like, they lose Dawn and Highgarden because of how much time's been wasted. Really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everyone's always gonna be pissed at the ending.
Yeah.
But it's because everyone doesn't. You don't get what you want, and this is in his writing. Like, he says there's 3 moments in the series. Like, he said this before the last season come out. He goes, there's 3 really pivotal moments. There's the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
When Jon dies.
And
the
then
last one comes in the series. And I think it is Daenerys turn.
100. It's gotta be at this point. It's such a significant moment, and I think it's so important to kind of clock it in terms of just the message that I think he was kind of trying to convey as well. I think he was just trying to say, like, even the most noble and great of people can fall, and like, look what power and look what can happen. Look what grief can do to a human being. Like, look how people can change. I don't know. Again, I think the book is gonna like explain and go into so much more detail, and I think, you know, people are waiting for the book, and I understand.
Definitely.
But you know, it's an important message to take away.
Yeah, I think everyone's annoyed about Daenerys, but I think everyone was upset about Jon's ending as well. Like, Jon doesn't get a happy ending, and I don't know what people expected for this guy. Like, he's literally just been
9 lives, literally.
I think because you know, the big reveal where you find out Jon is the true heir. I think it kind of makes that pointless, but then I don't think it does, because there's so many massive details in the in the book and stuff that like really don't matter in the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, and at least, I guess you could say, just trying to stick up for the show, at least you can say that it's consistent with his character, because all he said in the last season is, "She is my queen. I don't want it."
Yeah. Well,
he didn't want it.
my defense of this is when who gets murked? They go beyond the wall, and he's talking. Who's the guy with the eye patch?
Oh damn! I forgot his name.
I'm gonna kick myself later for this.
I know. We both are.
They're trying to breach.
Carry on chatting. I'm gonna Google it.
I know. I'm so annoyed. I forgot his name. Okay, so he's talking. It's the guy, the Brotherhood Without Banners.
Yeah, I know.
You know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
I'm pissed. Okay, so yeah, well, they're talking, and he's died numerous times. And
is it Beric?
Beric Dondarrion.
Thank you.
And there's Thoros of Myr.
We're about to get roasted in the comments.
Yeah.
People like, you didn't even know.
So, hold tight, Beric. I love him. I'm so sad he died. So, yeah, in the scene, he's talking to Jon, and he says, he goes, every time, like, he dies, like, he's lost a piece of himself. maybe John just loses like a massive piece of himself when he comes back. Because in the show, how much time is there from when he's dead to when he comes back? Maybe that has an effect. I don't know. But I know, like, maybe he does lose a bit of himself, and he thinks like these things become acceptable, and like I don't know. Maybe he just does. He's so in love with her, he just doesn't see anything else other than that. It is a bit silly. Like, he's always been this guy to do the right thing. And he doesn't fucking want to, but
he's just always like pushed into it.
Yeah, he is, and it's fucking Pete. But he was never gonna get. He's never happy. But then I think at the end, like, he gets the sending behind the wall. But I think he's okay with it. I think he accepts it because he's like, do you know what?
I think I think he does accept it.
I think this is probably where he's meant to be.
Yeah, this is what I mean. I think that is where he's supposed to be, really. I mean, I liked the ending for other characters as well, apart from... Oh, I know I'm going to get roasted for this, but, like, I don't think I'm wholly satisfied with Cersei and Jaime. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to say that, like, I expected this dramatic thing, you know, and this really, like, evil... I didn't want Cersei to get absolutely destroyed, like, I didn't even hate her at this point in the show, like, I really respected her friggin' ages ago, like, I didn't mind her, so...
She's underrated.
But I just think, I don't know, I just think it could have gone a lot deeper, I don't know, like, they just kind of surrender to their death, like, under rubble, and I'm a bit like,
I think, you know what, I think the biggest tell is where... It's Pete, because the actor, Lena Headey, I think is, like, she's actually really good. I think there's a lot of moments in the series where you can, like, her acting in it, like, you fear Cersei to a certain level.
Yeah.
But I think the scene where she's looking out and Drogon's just flying towards her, I think she's just realised, this really is it. Like, I can't do nothing, the mountain can't stop that. Like, you fucking couldn't dare stop that. I think...
She reverts back to, like, a child as well. Like, you can see she's scared and she's absolutely terrible. It's such a, like, interesting turn of a character.
But I think, you know what, maybe that really is her with Jaime. And I think maybe she's only ever felt she's needed to do this to survive.
Yeah.
And to be, like, Tywin's heir.
Yeah, it was great to see her vulnerability. Yeah. Like, for once.
I'm a bit,
well, you see it a few times in the show, but it was interesting in those final moments.
A bit good for them, but then... I'm not, because in the show they fucking forced Euron's story, so I think anyone that's pissed about that, you got to be pissed at Euron, really, because he shouldn't have the impact he's had.
Yeah,
I don't think his and Jaime's fight was like, it was silly. I think the only way I could justify it is sorry, I think so.
Siri just turned on.
People. I think you need to be pissed that he's had such a say. Like, when he swims into shore, I think the only way he can know that is because he's a fucking master of sea, and that's the only justification for that. But then, the whole fight is just, it's just dumb. It's just fucking dumb.
It was just painful to watch, because I remember thinking, like, there are so many other things that are happening. I couldn't physically care less about this. Like, I just didn't care. It just seemed like such an annoyance at the time. I was just like, oh, like, I knew that Jaime would not die by the hands of him, and if he would, I would have been pissed off. Yeah. So, like, I knew that they wouldn't do Jaime dirty like that.
Would people be happier if he died there? Euron dies as well. Then
I think
Cersei's just got no one. Can you imagine that?
That would have been a really terrible way to end Jaime Lannister. In my opinion.
Let's talk about this then. What should we have expected? Because we've spoken about, like, our opinions on it and stuff. Like, what should we have expected in terms of each person's end? Like, I'm not gonna say each person, because there's a lot of characters, but, like, the main storylines. Like, what should have happened? Because if Daenerys, if she doesn't turn, and she becomes the fucking greatest leader, I'm not having that. That is not happening, because you know what? She's been great. Yeah, maybe. You know, maybe we have let a few things slide, like when she crucifies man, when she just kills countless people, like, we let all of that slide. But I think if they did this thing where her and Jon rule, or Jon takes over, or whatever, like, I feel like that's a bit of a happy ending, to be fair. Like,
yeah, I think this ending is a lot more profound, which is really important. Like you said, if that was the ending and everything was all cool and she just went into it like perfectly.
I'm a bit annoyed at Grey Worm because I think like when they come to deciding who's, you know, gonna be leader and stuff, like how he's ruling it all, like he's taking control. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That one. I was thinking, you know what? Like, maybe he should have got killed off. It's a bit peak, but maybe he shouldn't have that power. Maybe Tyrion is the one who has to. He does eventually come out and control it all, but I'm saying like that shouldn't have been the way it happened.
Yeah.
Like Tyrion should have been there. Like, you could say he's maybe played Jon into doing this for the better of the realm, and then maybe that's like how
and good, kind of rightfully so.
It's fucking
because she was gonna go on a rampage.
It's fucking peak when they laugh at the idea of democracy.
Oh, it's so good. You know what? From day, literally, I thought this. I was like, Samuel Tarly's going to introduce democracy and voting, like the electoral system. I was like, the politics, like, he's going to introduce the electoral system. I bet you any money. And then when Tyrion said it, I was like, inject it.
But for politics, by the way.
Oh, don't. But yeah, when they all laughed at it, it was so funny. It was so
amazing.
good.
Yeah, I think it was a good play for them. You know what? For Daenerys, I think I hate to say it because she was my queen. She was my queen before,
of course she was.
She was my queen before Jon or anyone was my king, even before Ned. When she does all her bits there. Nah, I don't care, man. When she's with the Dothraki and that, and she's just showing she's a real G, I thought, you know what? Fuck with you.
You look directly into the camera.
Nah, because I felt, you know what? I thought she was sick, man. I thought she's had a tough time. She
has had her moments, to be fair.
Yeah, but I thought, you know, I knew it wasn't going to end with her being in control. It was just, you couldn't be more. I mean, she got the army. She had the dragons, firstly. Then she got the Unsullied. Like, she can't stack up this many forces. Like, it's just not fair. It really isn't fair for anyone. I know the Targaryens just aren't fair in that world anyway, but...
Yeah, they're like a separate, like, being.
Yeah, I thought it's too predictable if she ends up on the throne.
Yeah, but like Targaryens have got their pros, but they've got their fucking cons. Like one example, going mad, that mean streak. Again, people who've read the books will roast me so hard, and understandably, because I don't know the ins and outs of Targaryen races. But from what I can remember, like their highs are high and their lows are low in like a funny way. Because obviously, look what's happened.
Yeah.
Look what the ending. She had a true kind of, in a weird way, Targaryen ending. She just...
Well, I think, you know what? If Cersei somehow managed to just kill her before she gets to her, I think Cersei would be the best. Like, let's say she burnt a lot of the King's Landing down, and Cersei somehow just one crossbow just takes her out. Cersei's the ultimate game player, because you can say she's painted this picture that she will do all these... To be fair, like, Cersei is right. I fucking can't stand the fact that I've said that. But she said... She's gonna come, burn everyone. She's gonna destroy this city. Like, she has said this. Like, she's she's turning the people for her. Like, she said, we'll invite you into the castle. Like, she's really painting the picture. And then it does happen, and she's kind of right. Like, she's like, she is too powerful.
Yeah, but Cersei also said, friggin' like, the Red Keep will never fall, and it won't fall today. So like her predictions, in my opinion, have always been a bit... I mean, yeah, she was right, ultimately. Yeah, I get that. But,
because let's say there is people left in King's Landing. I mean, I don't know how there fucking could be. But let's say if there is, like...
It's that one horse.
Yeah, let's say she tried to rule in King's Landing. Everyone would turn on her. They'd say Cersei was right. Cersei said you would do this.
Yeah.
And what can she do? What the fuck?
This is what I mean. The moment she turned, she... dug her grave as a leader, as a fucking whatever. Like, she absolutely just goofed herself on that one.
No, 100%. I think we definitely can talk about this forever.
Oh, we
I think,
could.
I'm glad we spoke about it, because to be fair, all in all, I think I'm glad it's over. 10 years is a long time to have a series running. I think a lot of the cast were happy that it ended, because there was so much going in behind it. Like, that was literally all they're known for, and I think as they are artists in their own form, I think you want a different body of work, because I think if you look at all the films people have done since then. Like Game of Thrones, people are putting as little cameos and stuff like that sometimes. But like when they're put in a serious roles, like people don't look at it as they should. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
Like I think it's just the name, like because they're from Game of Thrones, like it's a big thing. But I don't think
That's like it with any art, and I know it's horrible, but it's true. A lot of the time, like it's very difficult. I think it's very difficult for actors to kind of diverge, and when they've been in such a massive thing, like Game of Thrones was literally the biggest TV show. I think the biggest TV show of all time. You will really struggle to steer away from that. It's like the kids from Harry Potter when they stopped playing, when Daniel Radcliffe stopped playing Harry Potter. Everyone was like, "Oh, I can't stop seeing him as Harry Potter." Like it's just difficult for actors.
It's true as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, what would you say though? You happy with it? Was it too? What I'm guessing it's not what you expected at all.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't what I expected. I mean, which is weird because I like I previously mentioned, the clues were there. Like we were really given like, you know, a lot of clues, a lot of foreshadowing, hell of a lot of like build up for that moment where her switch goes off.
Yeah.
Was I still surprised? Yeah. Was I still really like, oh my god, what are you doing? Stop it, stop. Yeah. It was horrible to witness, but...
Nah, you know what? It's still the greatest TV show of all time for me. I think I'll still rewatch it.
Yeah, I think
to
so.
finalise, I think the visuals of this... Wow.
Oh.
Standing. Honestly.
Great directing as well.
Yeah,
like hats off.
It's disgusting. They made like the whole...
Filth.
King's Landing. Like, how mad is that? They made it. The whole set was disgusting. I think... Nah, it was crazy. Like, I genuinely feared Daenerys in the end. It was crazy.
I know. I wanted her to, like, burn me with a dragon, and I would have been so satisfied.
When the wings come behind her, I was so shocked. It was mad. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, before we take this on for the next, like, million years...
I know. We could talk about that for an unhealthy amount of time.
We will again, definitely. Like, there's still so much to go into, like, what we... wanted maybe, but yeah, next segment is FilmFighter. So the whole idea of this is you've probably played Street Fighter, heard of it at least. The idea of this is I'm gonna say a film and Emily's gonna say a film. We're gonna have 3 rounds, and at the end of the 3 rounds I want everyone else to decide who really wins it. Like, what film would you prefer to watch? If you've watched both, you get to give an even better opinion. I want this solely based on what we're just saying now, because can we influence your opinion? Can I become an influencer is what I'm saying. No, I'm joking. So yeah, so first we'll let Emily serve. What's your film?
Okay. Listen.
Let's go. Just your film to stop.
My film that I've selected is Van Helsing.
Oh, so nice. I can't believe.
Joe's going to be fuming with me. Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman. Proceed.
Alright. I don't think like this is... I don't know if this can match up, but my film is The Grey. Liam Neeson.
Right, go on.
Alright, so round 1 plot. Let's go.
Well, I'm yeah.
First.
Okay. You're not ready. So let me set the scene. Picture this. We're set in a moody grey Transylvania, right?
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is out here. He's Van Helsing.
Yeah.
He is our hero of the story. Problematic hero. Some of the best. And basically we follow his journey to try and protect this family. The significance of this family. I'm laughing because this film is so hard. The significance of this family is that they are the last of the vampire hunters.
Yeah.
And Dracula's here, and he's got a plan. So this family, brother and a sister, I feel really, really bad because I forgot the brother's name, but he's so irrelevant. Well, yeah. The sister's called Anna, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And Van Helsing is basically trying to help Anna murder Dracula, right? Because his plan is and this is the best part. He's having loads of sex with demonetized. He's having loads of sex with his vampire women who are all really peng.
Yeah.
3 of them, and they're laying all these eggs.
Yeah.
Eggs.
Eggs.
And they're gonna create like a fucking race of like winged vampire things that are just gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
So before this happens, they need to kill Dracula, put a stop to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
While this is only the beginning. While we've got Frankenstein in the mix, he's chilling. He's helping them along. He's the good guy.
Yeah.
And oh shit! Spoilers.
Spoilers before this, by the way.
Yeah, and then we've got Anna's brother like transforms into a werewolf as well. Because of Dracula's evil like experimental plan. And yeah, so I mean, I think I've just pretty much said it all. It's a race against the clock sort of thing. Dracula needs to like, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm good. I can't wait to physically fight afterwards.
Go on.
Basically, race against the clock. Here we are. Hugh Jackman, Daddy. He's there trying to put a stop to this plan before it's too late. Am I right, ladies? That's it.
Fair. You explained that really well and detailed. I don't think I can do that.
Was I chatting for like 10 minutes? Because I
Maybe.
could talk about like...
Nah, okay, so... So, troubled hero. As we all are. Okay.
Sounds a bit like Van Helsing.
So, Liam Neeson is some just guy who knows a lot about wolves. Let's just start it with that. He's on this plane and they're flying back from somewhere and it crashes in this Alaskan wasteland. It's just icy, snowy as shit, and it's cold and scary. So a few people survived this plane crash, and he's one of them. So there's like 7 or 8 of them, and it's all about survival once that crashes. So they pick up a few supplies. They're like trying to get to somewhere, and they see a forest line, I think, and so they're like travelling towards that. All of a sudden, a few wolves come out of nowhere.
Oh shit! And our hero just knows he's the man to sort this.
And so there's wolves, and they realise they're in a bit of trouble now.
Oh.
So yeah, so it's based on a short story. So yeah, like they get into the forest, and then it's all about these 7 or 8 people against a pack of wolves, and I can't explain that any better. And then, spoilers for the film, it's not going great for them throughout the whole film.
Shit. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So they're just trying to escape these wolves, and it's not great. But you do see how great of an actor Liam Neeson is, and how Irish he actually is.
Alright.
I don't think you catch that in a lot of his films.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so you hear it, and like you can really sense everyone's acting this. You're so on edge throughout the whole film, by the way, because it's a bit crazy still. It's a few joke scenes. It's quite brutal though. It's quite brutal. I mean, this could also come into a different segment, by the way. Good shit films. But yeah, that's my film.
I think I've won round 1 already. Jokes.
Fair. Okay, round 2. I'm definitely not winning this round.
Impact.
So,
is this impact on us?
I think personal or impact on the whole industry. Or
okay, because I doubt Van Helsing is friggin'
Van Helsing
considered iconic.
Yeah, Van Helsing.
I mean, it is to me.
That impact on me was that I never wanted to watch that film again.
I'll go by myself.
No, go on then.
Let me riddle you why you're wrong.
Go on.
The impact this had on me, I think... I'm just going to be arguing out my arse, as per usual, because, yeah, I'm going to lose this round. But I think the impact it had is its significance with all the different tales that it told and interweaving all these different kind of like had classics, like classic pieces of literature. So you got Frankenstein in there.
Yeah.
You've got Dracula in there. We've got like the lore of werewolves, which is quite, what's the word? Consistent.
Fairs.
You know, they've got a lot of like werewolf lore correct, which
I don't know.
I mean,
What
I'm not an
werewolf
expert,
lore?
but fucking hell, maybe ask fucking Liam Neeson. He seems to be the wolf.
I mean, I'm gonna watch Twilight just so I can catch up on my werewolf.
You know what? Honestly,
me.
don't use that as your benchmark. I'll tell you that now.
Alright.
No, but like I like it because it's just so genuinely, it's so over the top. It's so ridiculous. Again, like you've got Dracula, you've got fucking werewolves, you've got Frankenstein, you've got like. Honestly, you've got all sorts of like bits and bobs. You've got like weird, sexy vampire women who are, I will reiterate, peng, and then you've got like the vampire babies and all this shit, and it's just so like gothic and weird and like cheesy and cliche, and yeah, shamelessly, it's just so much fun. It's just a fun film.
Unfortunately, the impact of this film isn't that great. Nah, to be fair, like, I don't know how to say the impact of this film.
Because it has zero.
It has no impact. It's just a good film. It's just an okay film. Like, I was sitting there and I was feeling really sad for Liam Neeson. That's all I can say. He's just trying to work with what he's got. He's not the happiest guy.
Yeah.
He's not having a great life as it is. And then things are just getting continuously worse for him. Unfortunately, I just can't do nothing about it. And I think maybe that's the lesson to learn. Sometimes we're just put in shit situations. You just got to do what you got to do. And even in the end, you still won't win. So just accept it. Maybe that's the only impact. You've got round two.
Fucking symbolism for life.
Yeah. I think the only way I can win this is definitely round 3 now. So round 3 is the ending.
Right, okay.
See, I'm going to count this as 2 now. Like Nick Cannon does in his show. It's a lot of Wild Style. Counts for double points. Alright.
You can't do that because you know that you're going to win on ending.
Nah,
and P.S.
worry.
You're not, because the ending of Van Helsing is surprisingly deep.
So,
carry on.
No, that's fair. So with the ending, I think a lot of films get decided on that. So like Aaron, who's on podcast number 3, if the ending of a film is shit, you won't hear great things about it. So I think like that opinion can dampen hundreds and thousands of films. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was the ending good enough to end this film? Like, could you watch the whole film again because of the ending? You know what I mean? Or was it just like a poor ending and it's pissed you off and it's turned you off the film? So, ending for you.
Right. Okay. So this is why Van Helsing ultimately slaps.
No.
The ending surpassed my expectations of the film, and my expectations weren't particularly very high. The ending for this was surprisingly really good. I'll tell you for why. I will never be more enthusiastic about anything. P.S. I will never be more enthusiastic about anything else other than Van Helsing. So, the ending, it's revealed that Van Helsing is kind of like part vampire himself. He acts I haven't seen the film in a while, but like it gets to the point where he is like he transforms. You know what I mean? Like he's throughout like the second half of the film, he's starting to fucking have mood swangs. He's starting to have mood swings, and he's starting to like, you know, get angry. He starts to snap. He starts to get violent and shit. And you're just like, oh man, okay. So the ending, he needs to like turn off this switch to stop all of these babies from hatching.
Okay.
And like,
you know, it's quite convenient.
I'll go kill myself. He needs to turn up, because he's using electricity to fuel
all these eggs,
obviously. Sort of thing.
Sorry.
I mean, duh. Do you not know anything about vampire children?
So sorry.
So him. Okay. All complications aside, it's Van Helsing versus Dracula at this point in his friggin' tower. He's a vampire. He's a werewolf. Dracula's turned into this winged like vampire, like shit you up, scary, like 7-foot thing, and they're just fighting and they're just having it out, all this shit. Eventually, his missus,
Yeah.
the vampire slayer, the family, from the beginning of the film, has... Sorry, I'm just checking my laptop. They have, like...
We both drew it.
They have, like... She manages to, like, turn off the switch and cancel everything, essentially. Yeah. Again, don't quote me on this particularly because I haven't watched it in a while. Van Helsing at this point is so far turned into a werewolf that, like, she's in pain, she's hurting, she gets injured. I think he accidentally, like, she gets caught in a crossfire or something and she's, like, pretty much dead. So basically, spoilers, she dies. And honestly, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Hugh Jackman holding this woman as a werewolf, and then he slowly turns back into a man, clutching this corpse of this woman that he loved so dearly, right? And he's just crying. He's just crying he's crying his eyes out. As am I. He's crying. Dracula's dead. Who cares? His missus is dead as well. And then at the end, he puts her corpse, lights it on fire, and then he looks up in the sky, and who does he see? His wife smiling. They're not actually married. His missus smiling with her family. They've been reunited, and he looks up, yeah, and he smiles, and he says, "Yeah, like I'm satisfied. I'm happy." So you know what?
Good. It actually sounds like it.
Because you know what? Because for a trash film, you'd think that it would be like, oh, he kills Dracula and everybody's happy and everything's good and he gets with the girl and all this shit.
You know what?
No, it doesn't end like this.
Okay.
If you think that Van Helsing was going to have a happy ending, you weren't paying attention.
Okay, that's fair. That's really fair. That actually, you've actually sold it a little bit to me because now I'm thinking.
Of course
it's
I
not
have.
As cheesy as it
Are you insane?
Just a quick thing before we. Because I know I've said we're going to talk about the importance of nostalgia. Because I want to keep this one light, and this has been a good podcast. We're skipping now. So fuck what I said at the
I'm
start.
scared my laptop's running out of memory as well.
Yeah, I wanted to keep this one short anyway, because we're coming back into it. I don't think this is the best one to keep an hour and a half if we're just chatting shit for all most of it. So yeah, we're skipping that. Okay, so my ending for the Grey. So this whole film, they're running away from these wolves. They're doing the best in their power they can possibly do to just get away from these men. They're being picked off quite slowly. Like, it's not nice to watch.
Is it Van Helsing? Sorry.
Oh, no. So all these wolves are just fucking them up, yeah. And there's a scene where they actually win. They've won one of the fights. Like,
right.
They just fucking catch one of the wolves, they fucking take off his head, they dash it at all of them. They've got like a fire lit, and they're just like, what? Who wants it?
What?
And you hear all these wolves howling, and it's fucking scary. And you're just thinking, like, I would not be happy in this situation. So, throughout the whole film, they're running away, they're getting slowly picked off. And at the end...
Sorry, I know you're in full flow, but I need to ask this.
Go on.
Right, so it's a pack of people versus a pack of wolves.
There's 8 people, and they're just crashed in the middle of nowhere.
How many wolves are there?
There's a whole pack, so there's loads.
Just
I don't know how many.
Kick a dog.
Nah, these are fucking huge and scary.
Okay, carry on with the ending.
So they get slowly getting picked off, and then at the end, it's our squad old hero Liam Neeson.
Of course.
He's the only one left, and you can see bones. Like, he's ended up at this place, and you can just see bones, like carcasses and shit. He realizes he hasn't been running away, but running in towards their den. And just the alpha wolf comes out, and there's just a face off, and he's just like, fuck. He sellotapes a knife to his hand, he breaks off little glass shot bottles, and he's just like, let's fucking have it. And then it just cuts to black.
You know what?
It just cuts
What?
to black. Yeah, so
No!
like, but you just assume that he's just
God.
got murked. Like, there's no way he's winning that. He could put up a really...
Oh, you know what? I really rate that as well. I can't lie.
You know what? I was hoping...
You had me in the second half, not gonna lie.
I hope he, he put up a good fight, but that's the ending. And like he just like reads out this poem his dad wrote, which is called The Grey. And yeah, he reads it out, and he's just like accepting that. Oh, fucked.
Oh my
and you
God.
just see the fear in his eyes, and he's just like, just fuck it though, let's come on then, who wants it? And then that's it. I mean,
I rate that.
it's a fantastic ending to the film, I think. It's a good film. It's not
That is a
serious,
good
but
ending,
It's a good
yeah.
It's an alright film still. Alright, so moving on to the last topic of today. This is also one of the reasons the podcast didn't come out for ages. So it's jumping into work straight after uni. So I finished uni, just a bit of context. Emily's also been to uni for the last 3 years. I've been for the last 4 years because I'm a fuck up. So I did the foundation, yeah. I think I've said it before. So I've been at uni 4 years now, and when I came out of uni, I thought, I best look for a job, like as we all, like as most people do. And the first few weeks, I had 1 week where I just did fuck all. I mean, it's not like I was doing fuck all throughout the whole year. I was, definitely was. So yeah, started looking for jobs. Luckily, found a job in recruitment. Won't name the firm. But yeah, I was there, and you know what? I'm not gonna run it down. I'm not gonna try and trash it. But I did realise that I did that straight out of uni, and I don't know if that was the right idea. Like, I had other reasons why I left work, but I jumped into work like shortly after, and I realised I didn't really give myself the break that you kind of need, because although I was doing fuck all at uni, it was still 4 years of my life. I've spent 4 years collectively trying to get this reward, and like I finally got it, and then I thought, yeah, like I've jumped the gun here. And so yeah, I worked there for 2 months. I was doing 50-hour a week, and it was fucking shit, really. The people were nice. The job wasn't too taxing. The hours were.
Yeah.
But yeah, I eventually left because I realised I don't need to settle. Like, I think everyone has this in their head that when you come out of uni, or even if like even at a certain age, like, you need to get the serious job, we need to do whatever, but we don't need to have it figured out. I think there's this sense of like no achievement if you don't get the job, or like you feel like you're not progressing as you should, or you're wasting time or whatever. But I really don't feel like you should. Like,
No, absolutely not.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think, like, so I'm 22 now, and like I've left there, and to be fair, the money was good, and it was like graduate wage. But I thought to myself, you know what, like, it's not even about the money. Like, I'm actually not happy here, and like I've got the rest of my life. I'm saying that rest of my life, anything could happen at any time, but like I have the rest of my life to really commit myself to something I want to do. Like, I'm not gonna do that for something that I don't even know if I want to do forever. You know what I mean?
100%. Like, the job that you get when after you graduate is probably not what you want to do at all. Like, I had so many people saying to me, like, don't just accept the first thing that you get.
Yeah.
Like, I had, like, my parents saying it. I had my friends are older as well, so they've pretty much gone, or am currently going through similar kind of, like, what am I doing sort of thing. But a lot of them are older, and like, they always said they were just like, never go for like the first thing that you find if you're not 100% about it, or if you're a bit funny about it, because how many years have we got ahead of us? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the thing that I want to end up doing, it's going to take me years, like literally years, and like, that's okay. Like, you don't have to nail it the first time.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, I completely agree. Like, to be fair, that's the mistake I made, like, jumping into it, because I thought at the time, like, oh, it's good money, like, I've just come out of uni, it'd be a good start to the career. But then, to be fair, I lost myself. I lost a lot of myself, because, to be fair, I didn't have time for myself anymore, and you realise that, like, as you get older.
Yeah, like, I
you
never
less
saw
time.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, all the money in the world is great, don't get me wrong. And, financial stability is super important, but at the end of the day, like, oh man, like, I never saw you. You were too tired to do anything. Yeah. You weren't yourself.
And you spoke to me, like, during that time as well. Like,
yeah, and you weren't, I don't know, like, I don't want to be a friggin' shrink, but like, you didn't seem particularly happy. So like, you know what I mean? And and again, I don't want to say like, oh, everyone is supposed to be like dead happy in their job, and like, it's supposed to be, this happy thing, and you love, working sucks, don't get me wrong, but there's a difference between like thinking, oh man, I've got to go to work, and thinking, oh my god, I'm feeling stifled and horrible, and I don't like this, and I'm not being myself, and I'm getting upset, and like, I don't know, it's difficult.
But yeah, like, there was, so it's one of those things, isn't it? I think the first few weeks I was there, I was like really quite enthusiastic about everything because I was like learning this new field and stuff. But I thought like there was numerous reasons to why I left. Like that's not just the only reason. But like one of the things is, you know what? If something isn't right for you, you don't need to do something for pride's sake. I could have sat there for another 2 years or whatever. Yeah, whatever it would have took, and just stacked up a bit of money and whatever, and just done it for the sake of I need a job. What's the point? Like all these people that work these kind of jobs, they look forward to their Fridays to going out and doing this and that. That's only because they just need some sort of like, oh, that's something I'm looking forward to because the whole week is shit. I'm not saying like that. Look, there's a lot of jobs out there that aren't great, but you can find a job that you do kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
And you know what?
There are some good parts.
Yeah, like and this is it. It's all about finding what you want to do, isn't it? Like, I know everyone can have bad things to say about their workplace, but if it was that bad, you would leave in it. And I think this is the point I'm trying to make is I don't think you should settle straight away after work. Like obviously you've been told that. I don't think you should jump at the first opportunity. I think you really take your time to, really think about it. I think like think about what field you want to go into, whether it's really the right decision. That's the first thing. Make sure you built everything up and make sure you've done things. Like so one of the things I've really thought about now, so like I'm just gonna get a part-time job. I still want to focus on the podcast and stuff, but like I know I'm not, there's no need for a serious job right now. Like,
no, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'm still a bartender. Chill out.
Yeah. So like
I'm still doing pints.
So like I'm fortunate in the fact that like my parents, like I'm living with my parents and like I'm just chilling, but like there's no point jumping into this career where I'll just sell myself at 22. Like there's so much I can do at this age and for the next like coming years, you know, like that I've always dreamed of. You know what I mean? Like these last 4 years have kind of taken away because with uni commitments and stuff, you can't do the things you want. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
there's a certain level to it. But yeah, I think I'm trying to kind of explain. This is just another reason why the podcasts haven't come out. This is just another thing, another trap I think people fall into as well. And I think it's easy to fall into. And I think it's probably best that I say something. I've fucking done it now. But yeah, like don't feel like you're backtracking. It's definitely one of the more important points. Like,
I was just gonna say, interesting. Do you have any tips on moving back in with your parents?
Oh yeah, so I think see, this is a tough one because I'm currently adjusting to it now. One of the things you kind of have to do is accept you don't have all the time in the world anymore because you're back at home. Like you do and you don't. I mean, I don't know like how everyone's relationship with their parents is, but I know like for me personally, it's not been the best thing because I was so used to being on my own. Like I lived in a studio for like 2 years, so I was kind of adjusted to how I was living. Like I lived in a house last year, but to be fair, I was still just chilling on my ones most of the time. Like there's a lot towards the end of the year where I wasn't, to be fair, but like I like having my own space. You know what I mean? Like it was really important for me. I think it's really important that you still keep a balance of that. But then you have to accept that it's not always going to be like that in your house. Yeah. You have to accept that stuff isn't done on your time anymore. You know what I mean? Like, 100%. Let's say like cleaning or just doing chores and stuff. Like, I think when I was living in a studio, I actually enjoyed certain aspects like cleaning and doing this and that, like cooking and all of that shit. Like, I enjoyed it because it was all on my own time. Like, I was really in control of everything. I think that's one of the things you don't like anymore. That you're not in control of what's happening around you. And obviously that's a tough thing to adjust to, but it's just all about just like gritting your teeth and finding the balance, like what you can take. Always be firm with where you stand, because if you are moving back in with your parents kind of have to be understanding too. Like they can't expect for the last 3 years you've been away, last 4 years or whatever it is, and you know you to come back and just be like, oh, all right, back to normal, because it's not that. Yeah. I think definitely you need to try and help out around the house, because you can start to lose like productivity levels if you haven't got a job or nothing. Yeah. What else? No, yeah, I think it's the same for me. I lived by myself in my final year, and I'm pretty lucky, to be fair, because my dad is really understanding. Well, both my parents are really understanding. Like they always say, like, we know that this isn't particularly kind of what you want to move back in with your parents, but it's just temporary and it's fine, just chill out for a little bit. So like they're dead nice about it, luckily, but like I understand for some people it's a lot more difficult.
mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not like loving it. Like, it's not brilliant, but I just think kind of preparing yourself and knowing, you know, this is kind of gonna suck and it's gonna feel like you're going backwards a little bit, but you're not. You know, you're not. I think it's for some kids that like literally jump straight from their uni house to a new flat. It's what everybody wants, but is it like realistic? Is it what most people do? No. You know, most people do move back in with their parents, and it's fine. So.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, one of the things I'd say, one of the things you can do about it. So, depending on whether you have a job or not, I think take advantage of being at home. Like,
oh yeah,
free accommodation,
Yeah.
food is always a given. But like, I think one of the other things is try and take time out for yourself and do things. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the most important thing. Like just not keeping yourself trapped in the house. I think you need to keep yourself as busy as you were at uni, maybe. I wasn't particularly, so like I'm saying that as if I do a million things all the time, but I don't. But like, yeah, definitely like you need to kind of have a balance of being at home and being out, because you don't have to pay to be out. So like, if people haven't got money, that's never an excuse. You can always go for a fucking walk.
Yep.
But yeah, like, I think keeping yourself busy, making sure you help out a little bit around the house, and then just like, I don't know, you need to find like something like productive in the yard for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's really important. Like mine right now is this, the podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't neglect your hobbies.
yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, take advantage of the fact that this is free time to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Take advantage of seeing your friends as well. Like, I get if your uni mates are like the people that, you know, you're with, that sucks because you've all been moving back. But if there's some people, like some friends from back home, that you really are still mates with, connect with them and like see them as often as you can and stuff.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. But yeah, that's just a little thing I wanted to talk about, because like I did jump into work straight after uni. I thought I've definitely massively regret it. Not saying I won't get a job, but it's like less intense than like a full-time graduate job. But yeah, that's just a little bit about that. And coming on to my favourite part of every podcast, it's the greatest segment in the whole world. It's Yeet Mountain. And when I say yeet, I mean yeet!
There it is.
We're back again, boys. I'm so glad to be here. So, the name of the game, the rules of the game are, me and Emily are both going to have 30 seconds to decide what this person deserves to get dashed off of Yeet Mountain. Over on Instagram or YouTube comments or whatever it is now, we're going to give people to voice their opinion on who should be dashed off Yeet Mountain. I think I won't do it this week because I haven't got every single one of my previous yeets available. I will next week though, or whenever I release the next one. In the next podcast, I'll give the list of people that have been dashed. But yeah, so we're gonna give 30 seconds on the clock to each one of us.
Oh no, I hate it when you do this.
Why?
Because it's like, I don't know, it's like timing it, and
That's exactly it.
It's meant to like, oh, hang on, okay,
Alright.
let me just like.
No, you need this. You need this level of concentration.
Okay, come on.
You ready? 3,
Fucking tight.
2,
Go,
1,
go,
30
go.
seconds, go.
Okay, people that don't adhere to bar etiquette or manners. And I'll fucking say this because I've recently got a bar job. Okay, there are so many things. Okay, oh nah, the timer's going and I'm shitting myself. So like, for example, if you're stood at the bar, don't stare at the bartender unless you want a drink, because I'm going to look at you and I'm going to be like, do you want a drink? And you're going to be like, no. So I'm like, so why are you looking at me? Like, don't call bar female staff like babe, or like, you know, don't be inappropriate. It's just really, really weird. But the time has gone now. Just people who are like, all I'm going to say is, because I waffled, people that are just rude at bar staff in general.
Fairs,
and
I'll
are
take
inappropriate and are just shit. Just order your drink, get out. I want to go home as well. Carry on.
All right then. That's 45 seconds.
Have 45 then. Have 45.
Do you know what? Don't need it.
You know what? 'Cause I've looked at Pav's, yeah, and mine is pathetic compared to it. So you know what? You've snaked me out. I'll take it. I'm a good sport.
I'm just saying, this is on a long list of things I want to talk about, and this just isn't a topic I've spoken about. I don't think I have the credentials to really speak about this, and don't know anyone that could really speak on this anyway. That's That's at the moment. I could in the future. So yeah, I'm going to put my 30 seconds on the clock. So,
Nah, put yourself 40.
Nah, fuck it. It's 30 seconds. That's the golden rule.
You're
I
odd.
think you needed it for a summary of what you just spoken about.
because there were just so
There's
many
so
different.
many points.
There are so many points. There are so many ways.
People who are pricks to bar staff.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. All right. 30
Man,
seconds
fuck
on the
that.
clock.
Jeez.
It's gone. 30 seconds on the clock. Let's go. So mine is homophobic people. If you're homophobic, yeah, I seriously don't understand how fucking uneducated, how thick you can possibly be. If you're offended by someone that is interested in their own sex, you need to fucking fix the fuck up. And if you act on that, and if you commit violence or say anything that's derogatory, you're a fucking cunt, yeah, and you need to fix the fuck up. These men deserve to get dashed, yeah. Fuck homophobic people, you pricks. All right.
Oh my god, yours was so much better than mine. I'm just like, people who are weird at bar staff, and you were like,
energy.
What am I gonna say now? Like, end racism.
Nah, this is it now. This is motivation. If you step on Yeet Mountain, you best come correct. Neela used to snake me all the time. Snake.
You've just snaked me,
nah,
so here we are.
It was there for time. You could have changed it mid-podcast.
I was too busy thinking about Van Helsing.
You was thinking about Van Helsing and fucking Jon Snow, mate. Alright, yeah, just, but yeah, oh shit, my nose. Just fucking lick the camera. I mean, the mic.
You know what? Karma for snaking out.
Alright, so that has been the Late Night Phovcast. I've been your host, Pam and Bath, and this is my lovely special guest, Emily Burns. It's been an absolute fucking pleasure having you on. It's been good
Thank
to be
you.
back.
Thanks for inviting me again.
100%. Yeah, just wanted a little fun one. This isn't the serious ones. I mean, this is definitely some of the segments I'm definitely going to implement in the future. But yeah, it was just a light-hearted one to get us back into it. Season 2 up in this bitch. But yeah,
we back.
Yeah, we back, boys.
We out here.
And yeah, that's it. God bless. And everyone keep on yeeting, by the way.
Yeet all the homophobes.
Oh.